what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good.
It's
I'm
good.
ready for this.
Yeah, I heard we have Panda Express today.
Yeah, welcome to the Takeout Table. I'm Eric Chernive.
And I'm Saurabh Chavla.
This is officially our first ever episode. So if this goes horribly wrong, at least the orange chicken will still slap.
Exactly. The idea for the show is simple. We sit down, eat takeout, and talk about the stories behind the food that raised us.
Yeah, it's not about what's in the box. It's about how the food got there. The culture, the history, and all the little things that make it more than just a late night craving.
And for our debut episode, oh man, I've been waiting for this day. We have an absolute banger, an absolute classic, especially for us, Panda Express. Because honestly, who hasn't eaten orange chicken as a coping mechanism during finals week? Am I right?
So today, we're talking about how Chinese takeout became one of America's favorite comfort foods.
And we'll dig into our Panda Express and the story of Panda Express, the evolution of Chinese takeout, and what authentic even means anymore when it comes to food.
And of course, we'll be eating while we talk.
So grab your chopsticks while we grab ours, and maybe your own takeout box, and let's dive into the takeout table.
You ready?
I'm ready. All right.
So, before the first bite, let's talk, hold on. Okay. Before we talk history, let's start with our own. What's your go-to Panda order, Saurabh?
My go-to Panda order, well, I have it right here, actually. Isn't that crazy?
Same with me.
Oh, man. Okay. So, my go-to Panda order, I guess this is more of like a recent thing because it does change quite a lot. But I do go with the plate, of course. You have to go with the plate because, it's just economically right. I go with half chow mein, half plain rice. I used to go with the fried rice, but honestly, I don't know why. It's just gone so greasy to me, and I don't really like the grease anymore. But, we have to keep up on our protein, but we also kind of got to keep up on the treat as well with our protein. So that's why I go with the orange chicken and teriyaki chicken. I always, this is a must. This is a huge must, Eric. All right.
Okay.
You ready? Yeah. All right. Well, I always go with a few packets of the chili sauce. This is like basically sriracha, but I know they don't want to get like a lawsuit. Yeah. So they call it the chili sauce. Okay. And it's just, I don't know why, but specifically from Panda, it's just so fire.
Okay,
but
I haven't tried it. Did you get multiple?
I did get multiple, okay. So I got one for you even.
I got some sauce for you also.
Okay,
so.
Okay, awesome. And then, of course, too, I always get chopsticks with my order as well. Yeah, it's just a must. Okay. Even though I also get, a fork with it just in case, my rice isn't sticky enough.
I've never ate Panda Express with chopsticks.
Really?
I've always done it with a fork.
Really?
I eat sushi with chopsticks, so I got some chopsticks as well.
I just
I'm looking forward to trying it.
I think it's a banger, All right, well, Eric, just kind of to leave you off on the same question, what is your go-to order from Panda Express?
So, I got my best go-to order today. So, I have two go-to orders, and I'll explain the difference in a second, but today we got the chow mein as I think that's the side. Yeah, they call it side. So, I got chow mein on both sides as my side. I think I've tried the fried rice, but I don't know. I wasn't too much of a fan.
Yeah,
I think I like the chow mein just the way the chow mein is at Panda Express. I don't like it at other Chinese takeout places, but I really like the cabbage. I'm pretty sure that is.
I feel like, the fried rice, it isn't just as classic or crisp as, the chow mein. So I think the chow mein's always just a go-to.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And then usually I go double orange chicken. You see the orange chicken on one side. But today, since it's the first episode of the podcast, I decided to splurge and get my favorite premium entree. That's what was it called? It was the honey walnut shrimp. That's what it was. So yeah, I paid the premium price and I got the premium entree. So
I've never tried the shrimp from there.
No, try one.
Okay, no. Well, I'll try it in a second. I've never tried the shrimp, but I've always heard really good things from it. I've always thought, when you go to a fast food place, you never order the seafood because it's just, I don't know. You never trust it, right? But But then, like, when you think of Panda Express, they always like talk about like fresh ingredients, and everyone just talks about fresh ingredients from Panda Express. And I feel like that also might be why it's good. I know it's like probably frozen with the shrimp, but like maybe their standard is different, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
Right.
You'll tell me if you like it. Oh, and
okay.
Before we forget,
Yeah.
here's a sauce I got you. You ever tried the sweet and sour sauce?
Oh man. Oh yeah, I've tried that before. Yeah.
Banger. Here's one.
Something that I actually forgot about that I typically get too is the hot mustard. I don't know what it is, but the hot mustard is just like so. I don't know. Like you can like pair it with everything. Like especially like the chow mein and the plain white rice. You just need like a little bit extra flavor to it. Oh man, it is the best thing ever. I don't know if you tried it before. Have you?
No, I actually just now noticed it only today. Yeah. I was looking at what kind of sauces they had because I knew we had this episode to record. I was like, we need variety for the episode. So, and I looked into where they keep the sauces, and I saw the mustard. And I was like, what would they need mustard for? So,
yeah. And I mean, before we start our actual entrees, there's always got to be an appetizer, right? So I just want to see what kind of appetizer you got.
So I got my go-to appetizer.
All right.
We got the veggie spring rolls. I've never tried. I think they were chicken. I've never tried them. They didn't look appetizing. So the veggie ones looked way more appetizing. So luckily there's two.
Okay. You guys see that on the camera? Yeah, that's fire. Well, I don't usually get the appetizers because I just feel like I just can't eat too many calories. When I go out, but back when I was little, I don't know why, but like my family really like put me on the wonton rolls, and it's just something about the classic cream cheese flavor and just like the fried goodness of like the outside of it. It's just a banger. All right, It's just a classic. All right, and this is like what reminds me of my childhood right here.
I tried those for the first time my freshman year, and so I started not getting a plate. I started getting a bowl with just one entree, so I can start getting those as well. Yeah, and I liked them so much, but I thought they were pretty simple to make, so I just searched up a recipe on how to make them, and I can make very similar ones in the air fryer.
Really?
For very cheap. I make them like...
And it's like all from scratch?
Yeah. I mean, you just get the wonton papers, and then you get green onion and cream cheese, and then you put garlic powder and all that. I'll make it for you next time.
Okay, I gotta try it. Yeah, that's got to be the snack of the day when I come over. All
right. Tell me about your drink of the day.
Well, my drink of the day, I mean,
looks like you have a water cup.
It's a water cup, but this is. I wish this was off the record because I don't know if it's illegal or not, but I put Gatorade in my water cup. This is again like it's just nostalgia. It's just like this nostalgia factor that I remember my dad. Whenever we would ever go out to anywhere to eat, especially Panda Express, we would always get our water cups. I would typically go with like either the Gatorade or it was like that. It was like that iced tea drink. Like I don't know if it was called like. It started with an S. It's like Saba or something.
I don't know.
I'm not too sure. But I would always go with that and then put in my water cup, and then my dad would always get a Sprite. And it would just be like something like we would just always like sneak off, and then like he'd be like, "Hey, Saurabh, just put in whatever drink you want. It's okay. They're not gonna look, And it always worked, So it's kind of like cool. A free soda. But what about you? What's your drink?
I just got water.
Okay.
I like to have water when I eat food. I don't think if I get thirsty, I don't think any other drink really satisfies my thirst. You know what I'm saying? I think water's the best, and then any other drink is kind of like a bonus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's kind of talk about the pricing of our meals, right? I don't know if you have your receipt at all.
I don't have my receipt, but I remember the price of mine.
All right. Well, I don't remember the price of mine. I think yours though, it was the
with everything combined, it was $15 and around 40 cents.
That is a lot. Well, mine with everything together, I'm looking at my bank statements right now. We're looking at $12.67. So I think it might have been because you got the premium entree, right?
Yeah, exactly. Mine was $14.29.
Oh, wow.
I was 11 cents off.
Oh, there you go.
Well, not too bad of a memory.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Before I forgot, have you ever tried this
Oh,
sauce?
of course. I mean, this is the classic. Usually I do get this, like, whenever I'm getting teriyaki chicken, but I don't know why today I just decided not to. Here, you can put
They put it in the big bag.
Yeah.
Because they don't want you asking for a million of these.
Exactly. But, yeah, I think with everything, as long as we can get everything out of our bags, still have a couple of sauces left, let's get to digging in. I feel like we need to obviously start off with the appetizer, right?
Cool.
Get a little good crunch in, and then we can move on to our entree.
Yeah. Which one do you want to have first? Want to have an egg roll?
Yeah, we can try the egg roll first.
Okay.
Yeah.
This might not look the best on camera because it took a while to set up.
There.
So the food's not hot, but
Yeah.
all right, we got cheers.
All right, cheers, man. Okay.
That's pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
So we've all got these memories of takeout, but the stuff didn't just appear overnight. So let's rewind. During the California Gold Rush, Chinese immigrants opened small chop houses and laundries that served miners and railroad work. Excuse me. Let me finish my bite. So during the California Gold Rush, Chinese immigrants opened small chop houses and laundries that served miners and railroad workers. And the widespread discrimination against them limited employment opportunities, forcing Chinese communities to rely on food service as one of the few available trades.
Wow.
So I'm not sure if you know, but the railroad that goes through Reno, it was built. A large portion of it was built by Chinese workers that immigrated
I
to the
didn't know
States
that.
for work.
Wow.
Yeah. And they were based in Truckee, I believe, which is just right off the I-80, right as you enter California from Nevada.
Yeah.
And I remember I went to the museum there. I don't know why I opened my chopsticks so early. I just got tempted. Probably want to turn that down.
Probably want to turn that down.
So I went to the museum, and I forgot how old it was, but I remember the worker, the guy that showed me everything there, showed me this Chinese cabinet that they brought over from China.
Yeah.
And that's when I learned that the Chinese community had a very big role in building the railroads, because it was the railroad museum. It was just a super old cabinet. And what was so interesting about it, let me get some of that sauce. Did they give you any napkins?
Oh, man. I'm going to get napkins. I think isn't that like always the one thing you forget? Like whenever you're having the best meal of your life, and then you forget the napkins. Can't even clean up afterwards.
Yeah. So we'll try not to keep it as messy.
Yeah.
But what I was saying about this cabinet,
Yeah.
what was so interesting is that they were able to date it to how old it was when they found it. Based off the shape of the nails. The nails were square shaped, so they could tell this was later 1800s.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was pretty fascinating. And then they had like different pieces of what they call china.
Yeah.
Right? Like the glass and the plates and the cups and stuff. They had different pieces of that showing in the museum.
Oh, wow.
So I guess that's really what brought over Chinese culture to the United States, and specifically the West Coast. So then, have you ever had chop suey?
I have not tried chop suey now.
I've heard of it, and I had to Google it before we recorded.
What is it exactly?
Let's actually look right now.
All right.
So, I've never had it myself, but it is a stir-fry dish typically made with meat and vegetables like bean sprouts, cabbage, and celery, bound in a thick sauce. The name literally translates to miscellaneous leftovers, and recipes vary widely, with some American versions featuring a tomato-based sauce with macaroni and ground beef. Oh, that's just not Chinese at all.
Actually looks good. We'll put a picture up right here.
Yeah.
In between my hands.
So that's chop suey.
Okay.
And yeah, it was kind of like the first Chinese-American dish. It's just a blending of leftovers. And by the early 1900s, Chinese restaurants became cultural landmarks in cities like San Francisco, New York, and Chicago, which still have a large Chinese population today. And back to that railroad I was talking about, it's the California Zephyr Railroad. So it goes from, I forgot what the specific fact was, but something was really fascinating about it, just about the length. And it still runs today, and it goes from Chicago to San Francisco.
Okay. Wow.
And it stops here in downtown Reno.
Uh-huh.
It's like 20 days. Or is it 20 days? No, it's maybe like, it's like 6 or 7 days on a train you have to sleep. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, thank you for a couple of those fun facts.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I think next here, Eric, in terms of our appetizers, we haven't even finished yet. We still have the wontons, the crab wontons. Is that what it's called?
No crab. These ones are vegetarian. These are the cream cheese wontons.
Yeah, the cream cheese wontons.
I don't think I've ever. I think I've had crab wontons at like a sushi place, but never.
I think I don't know why. I think the sign like called them crab wontons, but I know they're just cream cheese. I know that for a fact, but yeah. All right, well, let's dig in. I think we need to cheers this one, right?
Oh yeah.
All right. Cheers.
You want sauce? I don't like sauce. I think the cream cheese is the sauce in this.
You think so?
Yeah. Here,
like the outside shell's like a little bit.
It's a little bit cold, but
yeah, it's a bit cold.
But it's so good. And it's pretty damn fun to make your own wontons at home.
Yeah. I mean, it's an absolute banger. It's like, it's a classic, you know?
It is.
I still think it needs a little bit of sauce. I think it might also be because it's really cold right now.
Yeah.
So I think the sauce really helps out, but yeah, I mean, I think, like my current like take of Panda Express is like, it's just such a like wholesome meal to me because it reminds me of like when we used to work in the Joe Crowley Student Union, right? So essentially we go to the University of Nevada, Reno, and our student union, it's called the Joe Crowley. We used to work on the third floor. We had our own office. We worked at like this like little marketing firm, and it was really cool. Like it was a nice like little like area with like posters, good lighting, everything. I'll actually put a picture right over here so you can kind of get like an idea in your mind. But
and then there's a secret staircase.
Yeah.
That says, "Do not enter. Authorized personnel only."
Yeah.
And, we worked there, so we were authorized personnel.
We were authorized.
And it was just right across the corner.
Yep.
And that secret staircase where you go, it kind of looks like the back rooms.
Yeah, it's definitely like very backroom-esque. There's no security cameras, which I think is a little bit weird. Yeah. And then it's just complete concrete. And like you wouldn't even like expect the staircase being like in the I mean there's already like the main staircase like in the middle of the building, but like you would never expect this, like it's just like in this random corner and it goes to all the floors, which is very, very impressive, but you have to have key card access to go to the rest of them. But anyways, we have a Panda Express in our student union, and that's just one floor under our office. So whenever we would get hungry, or whenever we would like spend late nights there, either we were working on like a homework assignment, or we would have like a crazy video project we were working on for for athletics, that we would always go down to Panda Express because they were the only like.
They were the only ones that were open till 9 until
yeah.
Taco Bell came around.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So we would always make sure to go there before 9 o'clock whenever we were getting hungry.
And when you get out of the secret staircase, it's literally the first food spot right there at the Joe.
The first food spot that you see right there. And it's this whole food court area, but I don't know. It's just something about like when the smell just hits you, you're like, oh man.
It's a strong smell.
I need that, right? Yeah. It's a very strong smell. And it's like, for some reason, it's funny because it never gets old. Like I used to go to that office like every single day during school, during the semester, and I think it's that classic iconic smell of the orange chicken. That's really just what gets me,
Yeah, it's crazy because they still have all the food there, but the orange chicken is the one that hits your nostrils.
It really does. It's just that classic
Speaking
smell.
of orange chicken, I'm ready to.
I'm ready to dig in, honestly. I'm so hungry. I have not ate at all today. But
Oh yeah, why am I holding a fork? I'm gonna use chopsticks for the first time ever.
there you go. Have you never used chopsticks before?
No, I've
Or,
used
like,
I use
Okay.
chopsticks when I have sushi all the time.
Okay.
But never for Panda Express.
Don't they say it's like a sin to use chopsticks when you're eating sushi though? Like it's like against the rules or something.
It's something like
You're
that.
supposed to use your hand.
Oh,
Yeah,
I guess
But
so.
I mean, yeah, I heard like a lot of people use it for like when you're eating nigiri. I'm pretty sure, but
I was right. That orange chicken does slap.
yeah.
So Chinese food started expanding after World War II.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to swallow right there, but returning American soldiers who had eaten abroad developed a taste for Asian flavors, and they had a driving demand for Chinese food. So then Chinese takeout spots started rapidly spreading to suburban areas, rebranding themselves as family-friendly takeout spots. And the invention of the folded paper takeout box, which we didn't get one today because we didn't get anything on the side, but we'll put a photo right there. But that was actually patented in Chicago in 1894, and it became a national icon. Ironically, it's not used at all in China.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I've always wanted to go to China.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, especially with politics recently, it's just like a lot of like going to China is like there's just so much fear mongering behind it, but it's like it's actually like a place I've always wanted to go to, like when I was little, and like especially learning about the Great Wall, the history of it, and just like the history of China in general. It's so rich, and it just amazes me so much. I think also, growing up as a South Asian and going to India once, like I was just wanting to know, like, what was like further than that. Like I just wanted to like backpack from India all the way to China. Like that'd be such a fun trip.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Yeah, one of my best friends went to China last summer. Kind of like how we went to Paris on a school trip for journalism.
Yeah.
He went to China for a school trip for hospitality.
Mm-hmm.
And they spent it was around the same trip time that we were there.
Yeah.
But they spent a week in actual mainland China,
Mm-hmm.
and then they spent a week in Macau, which is like the Las Vegas of China, and it's not owned by them, kind of like Hong Kong type of thing. But he said he loved it, and I said, "Which one did you like more?" He said, "Mainland China." I said, "Would you ever go back?" He said, "Oh yeah, I would love to go back." He told me all these stories and all this stuff, and he told me the food was great.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of the food, especially like whenever you go to like a different country, I feel like the food is just so much different. And it's not only like because of like the different dishes that there are, but I think it's also to do like with like how fresh the veggies are and like how less processed things feel. I don't know, like you can really feel like when something's processed, right? After you go to a different country. What's your kind of experience in that? I know, especially like when as you mentioned, when we went to Paris last year, and we kind of went around like some of Europe. Like the food was definitely different. Right?
I'm just not much of a picky eater. I don't notice. I really don't notice small things when it's food.
I wouldn't really say it's like if you're a picky eater or not. Like it's just because I'm not either. But it's like I just noticed like that like little like glimpse of difference. Really, yeah.
A lot of the people we went to France with said the food was very flavorless, and it was like they said it needed like spices and seasonings and stuff. I didn't taste that.
I didn't really notice a difference in that. I mean, there were some things, but I think it's maybe because like we consume so much salt here that's like we don't. Because it wasn't like really hitting like in terms of sodium, but I think the flavor was still there, honestly. But I think it's something about. I guess like more specifically for me, I noticed more of a difference when I went to India because even just like eating the carrots, it tasted like eating candy. Like not, obviously it wasn't like sugary, sweet, like super sweet, but there was like this sweetness to it. And it's like, I didn't get this like weird like irritant in my throat that I usually get like whenever I eat a carrot here. So like I actually enjoyed like eating my veggies when I was in India.
Okay, so you're talking about more organic foods. I thought
Yeah.
you were talking more like restaurant foods or like processed foods.
Yeah.
So organic foods actually, just like how you're from India,
Yeah.
my family's from Bulgaria, and the big thing about Bulgaria is the tomatoes. They love tomatoes over there, and the one thing they'll tell you is the tomatoes are way better over there. And I never really noticed it, but then someone told me, and then I noticed it.
Okay.
And I was like, wow. There really is a big difference.
It's the same kind of thing in India, too. I remember eating tomatoes in India, especially. And, like, there's just something about, like, it being, like, a lot more juicy. And, again, like, it just tastes like candy.
Yeah.
Right? It's like there's this weird, like, this good sweetness. I can't even, like, just explain. Like, I feel like, you know, growing up here, that's, like, why you meet so many people who don't like tomatoes, maybe.
Yeah.
It's just not, it's not as great here, you know?
Yeah,
I still prefer it on anything, though. Yeah.
Totally get that.
Yeah.
And so, back to the history. Fortune cookies were first made in California, actually, and they evolved from a Japanese-style senbei cookie and became a signature American invention. So, back to what's in China and what's not in China. Fortune cookies don't exist in China, which is so crazy to think about.
Yeah, it's like I always thought it did, you know?
Maybe they do exist.
Right.
Now I'm thinking about it. Maybe they brought them over, but they weren't invented there. But I don't think they would welcome it into their culture if they didn't invent it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think, too, like, you know, I feel like a lot of us Asians, too, are a little bit more, like, on the spiritual side, you know? And maybe that's, like, the take that Americans were kind of getting.
Oh,
and
definitely.
then they wanted to make, you know, capitalism. Wanted to, like, just kind of profit off of that, maybe. I think that's maybe the idea where it was coming from, right?
Yeah, I totally get that. Try one of those honey walnut shrimp. Before
Okay,
you
yeah.
eat it all.
Do you want to have some teriyaki chicken or
I'll
something?
try it.
I've
never tried.
You've never tried the teriyaki chicken?
No,
Wow.
this good.
Great macros, by the way.
They chop it up in front of you, right?
Yeah. It's like fresh. I at first before I first had it, I thought it was just like a bland piece of chicken, so I never like tried that option. But when you bite into it, it's like it's got a good flavor, you know.
Yeah.
It's got a
It's
teriyaki
very
flavor.
juicy.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all. I might start trying to get that too. So Panda Express was founded in 1983 in Glendale, California, which is like L.A. essentially, by Andrew Chung and Master Chef Ming Tsai Chung. They were the owners of the Panda Inn, which I believe was a hotel. And then the chain grew rapidly after opening in shopping malls, symbolizing Chinese food's shift into the American mainstream dining. And their first breakout hit was the orange chicken, created in 1987 by Chef Andy Cow, blending traditional sweet and sour techniques with American-style fried chicken. So it looks like you pulled up the Panda Inn there.
Yeah, I was kind of intrigued about the Panda Inn. So it started with a restaurant, or not a restaurant. It started with a hotel, he said.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it looks like there's still a website called Panda Inn. I don't know if this is still the original Panda Inn. Let me just maybe take a look here real quick.
It is. Because if you look at their locations, they have Pasadena and Glendale. No, Glendale's the OG one.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, it looks like it's part of like a skyscraper building.
It isn't that one.
That's interesting. Well, maybe, you know, they just wanted to keep the franchise going, but we're not too sure about that.
Now I'm thinking about it. I've seen the Pasadena location. Here's a photo of it. I've seen it before, and I think I saw it on social media, and people said it was essentially just Panda Express with a bigger menu and a sit-down restaurant.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting because it's not the Panda Inn isn't a hotel anymore. It's more so just a restaurant.
Oh, so maybe I was wrong. It sounds like a hotel.
Right. I mean, you would think maybe it's just based off of that. That is interesting. At least by the website, it looks like that.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just a sit-down restaurant.
Wow. So maybe it's just like a fancy Panda Express, is what I'm assuming.
Yeah,
if it's owned by the same people, I guess. But yeah. Oh,
so
that is interesting to know that,
and it makes sense now.
Yeah.
Now that you're thinking about it, it makes sense where they got the express from, because the express means like essentially fast food. You're on the go, just like how we brought it on the go, because they always give it to you in to-go boxes.
Yeah, and that's just something about like, takeout culture, especially. Like, I feel like food has been so, industrialized in America, which I don't know. It's like, it's both a good thing and a bad thing, because it is a part of our culture, right? Mm-hmm. But I think it's like, maybe, like Europeans just look at us weird because like we eat like crazy meals, but we get them in like, within 5 minutes.
Yeah. But then you look at Europe and they have the same fast food places that we do now.
Yeah. And it's all been adopted over there. I think it's really set a worldwide culture from American culture.
Have you ever seen a Panda Express in Europe?
I don't think I have.
I don't think I have either.
Do they have Panda Express in Europe? I feel like it's only like an America thing, right?
No, they definitely have it in Canada.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, so they have locations in Europe, but they're primarily on U.S. military bases in Germany.
Based off of Google search?
They have over 1,400 locations. Wow. So they have to have some. It's crazy. Have you ever heard of British Chinese takeout?
I have not, no.
British Chinese takeout, it's very different than, I think they put a more of a British appropriation, I guess, to it, because it's just nothing like what Chinese is.
Yeah.
I think they have I think the staple of British Chinese food, I'm going to double check this, but I'm pretty sure it's fries and gravy with the other stuff. It is the weirdest thing ever.
That does not at all sound like Chinese food.
Exactly. So we'll put a photo of it.
Okay. Right over here.
Yeah. You see this photo? See? There's
That
fries.
Is crazy.
There's gravy.
And
then there's the rice and the chow mein.
I do remember now. Who's that one guy on TikTok? I loved him so much. He used to like eat food and like he didn't like really swallow that well. It was Bevo?
I have no idea.
Oh my God. Hold on. Let me pull him up.
I've never been much of a watching people eat food watcher. So it's surprising I'm posting something like this.
Dude, Bevo? Like, I'll put a video right over here. But let me just show Eric real quick. Have you seen this guy? It's just like crazy, like British food, And I think he ate a meal just like that. And he just like swallows like he doesn't he doesn't choose food. He just swallows. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I don't know. I loved seeing him eat for some reason. There was just something to it. I think it's just like a very interesting way of eating. Yeah. So, but I mean, just kind of going back to it now that I remember the big fries and the beans over it, and then there was just Chinese food with it.
Yeah,
it's an interesting take.
Interesting. So maybe that's why they don't have Chinese or Panda Express locations across other countries, because other countries put their own take on it. You know what I'm saying?
Which is interesting too, because whenever we're thinking of like Britain, when you're thinking of like London, they have like some of the best like food like I've ever tried when it comes from being from other countries. I remember, I know like that Indian food is like one of the biggest things in London. Like I like everywhere you go, it's supposed to be really good. I mean, the place we went when we were in Europe, it wasn't as amazing, but I could definitely tell like it's definitely like something where a lot of those restaurants compete with each other, and like you'll have like some of the top restaurants in London, and they're Indian food restaurants, which is very interesting to me.
When you said that they were competing with each other, that brought me back. I remember there was another Indian place right next door to it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but I thought we were going to that one at first because I saw that one first.
Yeah, because we were next to the train station when we were going back to Paris.
I think we just found a random one on Google.
Mm-hmm.
Because we originally planned to go to like a 5-star one
Mm-hmm.
you found, but there was just no time left.
Yeah, it was one I was recommended to by one of my bosses I was doing an internship for during that summer. But yeah, I think it was pretty far away though from where we were, so we just didn't get the time, and it was kind of a little bit difficult figuring out that subway, just because I think it's just a lot bigger compared to Paris. But I mean, kind of going to that too is like, it's nice to have public transportation.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking about it. Now we're talking about food in Europe and everything. It brings me back. I have actually had Chinese food in Bulgaria. It was this place in the mall, kind of similar to how they have Panda Express at food courts across America. It was at the mall food court, and it was there on the 3rd floor. But it wasn't Chinese. But because Bulgaria isn't, it's just so, the idea of Asian takeout food is just so foreign to them. Everyone called it Chinese, but I'm pretty sure it was Vietnamese. But when I think Vietnamese, I think pho.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I don't know if it was Vietnamese or Chinese, but it was called Dang Long.
Okay.
And I remember, and Bulgaria is not a very diverse country. Most of the population is essentially white or Bulgarian. But I remember the first time I ever saw someone of Asian origin was there in Bulgaria, was there at the food court, and it was the guy working. And I was like, okay, this is...
That was interesting.
Yeah, it was very interesting. And he spoke Bulgarian language. I was like, okay, so this has to be somewhat authentic. And then when I went to go order, just like how Panda Express, excuse me, I remember he asked me if I wanted chow mein, but he didn't call it chow mein. He called it spaghetti because the people in Bulgaria are so foreign to chow mein, I guess.
Interesting.
They just called it spaghetti. I assume he knew the actual name.
Right. That's actually like one thing, like Indians sometimes, there's some Indians that call it spaghetti as well. I know I sometimes go on Sundays with my parents, but we go to the Gurdwara, which is basically like our church or temple, right? And we have langar every day, which is like kind of like the food you get after praying. It's food for everyone, the whole community. It's all for free. And usually in the mornings, there's always chow mein. Like, it's just such a big thing there. But it's like, they would always call like noodles or like, or sometimes like, I remember like somebody calling it pasta one time. But it's just like, it's such a staple thing in India as well, is what I've noticed, is like, we do eat a lot of like noodles, and it's very like, it's just like Chinese noodles. It's very, very much like chow mein, and it's interesting how those like cultures have like kind of crossed. I mean, especially since India is like right next to China, I feel like that's
they border,
probably
right?
a bigger reason. Yeah,
They have a small border. I think.
It's a part of the border.
I forgot, it was either India or China, but they border like 14 countries.
Yeah, so I think that's
Insane.
China. But
Excuse me.
yeah,
Speaking of chow mein, I had to switch out the chopsticks for the fork for the chow mein. I just could not pick it up.
yeah. I think that's how I grew up, mainly eating chow mein, other than Panda Express, of course. But just going to the temple, to the Gurdwara every Sunday, and I would eat that. It was just a staple. I would always wait for it.
So what do you think makes the orange chicken so popular? Like, why is it always... You ever realize that it's the biggest bowl that they have there?
Right.
And it's always near empty.
Yeah.
It's always near empty, and they're always refreshing it. So what makes it so popular?
I just think it's a staple. I think sometimes, the only reason that sometimes people go to Panda Express is to get the orange chicken. And
what about it? What about the flavor?
I think it's just the sweetness.
Eat that piece right now.
Okay. All right. It's just like this weird, like, classic taste of like the sweetness from like whatever syrup that they're using, and then like there's like a very very small kick that you don't even notice at all, but it's there, and it's just like I think it's also the breading as well. It's just there's something like very delectable about that.
Have you ever tried any other orange chicken?
I've actually tried orange chicken from a lot of different places. And I've even tried like microwaved orange chicken because I feel like that's also
is it
like
the one from
staple.
Trader Joe's?
I've tried the Trader Joe's one, which isn't horrible.
It's not. I don't like it.
Okay,
and I think the reason I don't like it is because I compare it to the Panda Express.
Yeah, I think it's also it depends on the way you cook it as well, right? Because I think there's also microwaved orange chicken. I remember getting it from Walmart one time with the Clean Cuisine. It was the worst meal I've ever had, honestly.
Oh, I bet.
I think it's definitely there, but yeah, I mean, what do you think about the classic orange chicken taste from Panda Express?
I think it has like that kick of sour and sweetness. It's sweet at first, but then you get the kick of sour. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes it more unique than other places. And you're right, the breading and the fact that they make it in the big wok and everything.
Right. Something about it.
It's not like you're putting it in a microwave. It's in the actual wok.
Right. Well, I think kind of based off of that, Eric, I think we need to give the whole meal a review.
Okay.
And,
rating
the rating that deserves. All right.
Okay.
So I think I'm gonna let you kind of go first. Kind of,
Okay. So we scripted out a little rating system. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be 1 through 5, and there's just going to be different categories. So the first one is flavor and texture.
Okay.
What do you give it?
So, I mean, it's obviously cold, right? So I can't, I know the classic Panda taste. So this is my classic order, right? So I know the texture is a little bit different than usual. But
so are we going based off the one right now or based off our memory when it's hot?
I think just kind of based off over. I'm going to kind of average it out.
Okay.
Maybe, all right. So I think in terms of that, it's the you said it was the texture and the what?
And the flavor.
The texture and the flavor. So flavor, I'm going to have to go with a 9.2. I'm going to be real.
Man, you didn't listen to our rules. It's a 1 through 5 scale.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Well, and flavor and texture are in one category.
All right. Then that means, flavor and texture combined, I guess I have to kind of average that out. So I'm probably going to have to go with a 4.1. Yeah. 4.1.
Okay. I'm going to be simpler than you. I'm not going to do no decimals.
All right.
I stopped taking math classes years ago.
All right.
Flavor and texture, I'm just going to give it a 3. Okay, now I kind of want to add a 3.5 maybe. No, I'll go 4. I'll change to a 4. The reason is I got the honey walnut shrimp. I haven't gotten it in a while, but it's just so damn good.
It was fire when I tried it. It kind of tastes like chicken, but like with a shrimp taste.
Exactly.
Yeah. Interesting.
And the orange chicken has more of that sour kick to it.
Yeah.
Than last time I got it.
Mm-hmm. I feel like the flavors.
So you're 4.1?
Yeah. The flavors typically stay consistent, though.
Okay. So we pretty much agree.
All right.
So the next one is food quality. So what does food quality mean to you?
Food quality to me, what does that mean? Well, I think that means
that it tastes fresh.
It tastes fresh.
Okay.
And it doesn't have a bad taste to it, I guess. You know, that's kind of overall, right? And it also doesn't make me feel bad after eating it. And I think, after eating Panda Express, it doesn't usually always make me feel bad. Like sometimes there's days where you just kind of overeat it, and then
No, I get that.
Obviously, that's kind of like your fault. But I'd say with the food quality out of 5, I'm gonna have to rate this one a 3.8. Okay. There's still a little bit of a greasiness to it, but other than that, I would eat this meal every single day if I really could, if I could afford it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give food quality a 3 today.
Okay.
This isn't usual. The chow mein is chopped so short, I can barely pick it up, even with a fork.
Well, yeah.
But let's see.
Now that you actually say that, I'm kind of digging into my teriyaki chicken, and you can kind of tell that they cooked it a while ago. It wasn't fresh right away. And usually when it's like really fresh, it's not like the burnt ends, then it's like the best thing ever. They kind of gave me the burnt ends this time around. So I think I'm actually going to lower my score a little bit. Okay. I think I'm going to go down all the way to a 3.
Oh, you're going to match me at a 3.
Yeah.
So we basically have the same score.
Yeah.
So next is value. How would you rank value for how much you paid? You got 4 different things on your plate as well as the wontons.
Yeah.
For how much? Around.
Well, I mean, I think, when I used to be an employee, this meal would probably cost me around like $10, $8 to $10, because
we would wear the name tags.
We would have a discount, and that's also why I love Panda Express so much. Yeah. But I mean, I think for all the food that you get for $12, including the appetizer as well, I think I'm gonna have to give it especially in today's economy, I'm gonna give it a 4.2.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Gonna disagree with you on this one. I paid $15, but that's because I didn't get variety myself. I didn't get 2 different sides, and I did pay for a premium entree, which you pay extra, and they didn't give me much. They really didn't give me much.
That's true. It kind of depends on the person you go to, right?
Yeah. The guy tried to short me on chow mein. I said, "Can you put a little bit more?"
Yeah.
And that was really weird.
Now that I notice it too, they put chow mein over my white rice, so they didn't really put too much chow mein at all on my plate, as you can kind of see right there. So it wasn't really half and half.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm still gonna keep my score the same it is, because
I totally
know
get
Panda, man.
Yeah.
And I go there because of the price too.
And usually I don't get the plate; I get the bowl.
Yeah.
So I'm not used to paying as much. So $15 is just a little bit high for me. So I'm gonna go with a 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. So next is service. How was the service?
Yeah, I mean, I think we were talking to them, and we told them we had a podcast that we were shooting, and
they sounded pretty excited over it.
They were pretty excited. I always have usually decent experience when it's not busy at Panda Express, and they're always just really nice people. I remember, I had a short film screening or a documentary screening, and the next day, 2 of the Panda Express workers come up to me. They're like, "Hey, you're the guy who directed that documentary." I'm like, "Yeah, no," and I remember them scooping up even more orange chicken onto my bowl, and it was the best thing ever. Yeah, because they were really cool. And I mean, I feel like with the service today, you could tell they were pretty tired. They probably had a pretty long day, but still they tried, and they gave it their best.
What was nice, there was no wait time.
Yeah,
usually there's a wait time here on the campus, Panda Express. All of them sounded happy that we're doing a podcast. The only downside was that guy that tried to short me on chow mein.
Yeah, he was a little bit odd.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this, we're sorry, but
you probably had a long day, but
just put a little bit more chow mein next time.
Yeah.
But besides that doesn't mean you're going to lower the score. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 on service.
Okay.
You agree, or?
I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 as well. Yeah. That's 5 big bangs.
Yeah.
5 big booms is what they call it, right?
Boom.
Boom. Boom. Boom. Boom.
But we're not done yet. There's presentation.
Okay.
We kind of already dug into it, but from what you remember, I mean, you did have a little bit of a complaint with the chow mein, so
that's right though.
Okay.
I think I needed a little bit more white rice anyways.
I give my presentation a 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Probably because they didn't give me as much honey walnut as they should have.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like my sides were pretty decent. I think, because they did skimp out on my chow mein, which I'm a little bit upset about, but, I also need to probably eat a little bit more white rice. I'm going to have to give my presentation, and also the burnt ends on the teriyaki chicken. Come on. I'm going to have to give this one a 2 on presentation. Yeah. It's not my normal Panda Express thing.
No, I get that. Yeah. Totally get that. So then this last category, it's a little bit difficult to think about it, but it's basically authenticity.
Yeah.
So in comparison to other Chinese places that you may consider more authentic Chinese and not Americanized, how would you rate this from 1 through 5?
Man, I feel like, well, it's just very hard to compare because every Chinese restaurant I go to, it's different. You know, there's always like a different like thing that they're more special in, or it's just a different kind of taste that they have. You know, and I think I'm probably gonna compare it to this. It's a nearby restaurant called Chin Chin, and it's one of my one of my family's go tos, and I really like everything there. They have like this really good Mongolian beef that I usually always get, and I think comparing it to that, obviously that's always like served like super hot, super fresh to you. I mean, I don't think this can really compare anywhere near that. Really,
Okay.
I think
So maybe we can change this
yeah.
category.
Yeah.
What would you think would be a better category to change it to? You think you just want to do an overall score?
I think an overall score might work out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that makes more sense.
because this is its own food. You know,
No, totally. I totally get that.
Chinese takeout versus just Chinese food.
Yeah.
It's a lot more different. You know,
Yeah, so let's go with the final score. Out of 5, what do you give it?
I think based off of everything today, this specific meal that I'm having today, I'm gonna have to give it a 3.8.
3.8?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go right under you. I know I said I don't like
Yeah.
decimals, but we're going to go 3.5.
Okay.
There's just criteria that needs
Yeah.
to be met to hit 4 and then, eventually 5. And I think we'll discover that in our future episodes.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's all we had for you today, guys. Actually, oh, well.
Every
You know-
Chinese takeout ends with,
Yeah, you can never end it without this. You know, so I can't believe I tried doing that. But
so I heard
Yeah.
the way to do it is you eat the cookie and you can't read the fortune
okay,
until you eat the cookie.
okay, and you have to eat the whole cookie. Is
Yeah.
what I was heard, too.
So don't drop half
Right,
it on the floor.
So let's break it.
That's how your fortune will come true, and then
Okay,
you hide
Awesome.
the fortune.
I'm gonna
over
hide
there.
the fortune away from me.
Yeah,
All right.
we got a little crunch.
It's a fire crunch. What do you give that on the crunch rating on 5?
Oh, definitely a 5. We'll
Easily
give it another
5.
crunch. Good thing there's another half. Oh, you want to read yours first, or should I go?
I think you should take the lead on this.
Oh, this is very appropriate for today. You are a bundle of buzzing energy, always on the go. Today, I just felt like I had so much more energy in me than other days, and it's just so crazy that I
Interesting.
got this fortune.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I was able to do this whole podcast
Uh-huh.
so confidently.
Yeah. I feel like we were kind of like around the same level.
Yeah.
You know, I could definitely tell that you were a lot more energetic today, though. It was nice seeing that. Yeah, I'm glad.
Totally.
Well, mine says your silent efforts are about to be rewarded. So I don't know. I don't know, like when I was silent during this podcast.
I think outside of the
Maybe this is my analogy on it. Maybe whenever I let you talk, maybe that's just like it was just golden to this podcast, and it was just a
Totally get that. I
really big
appreciate
piece of
that.
it. Yeah,
I appreciate that. I think it's great how both of these tied into the pod.
it really did. Really tied into the pod, and I think what you said today is actually going to be rewarded, and I truly trust that, and I think we're going to go a long way with this podcast.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Right. One last thing. The reason why my score was so low is because Panda Express needs bigger water cups. For food that's a little bit on the saltier side, bigger water cups.
And when we're like actually following the rules, we do drink our water.
Yeah. But maybe we were drinking more water than usual because we were talking.
But I mean, who doesn't talk over food?
No, I get that.
I think that's something that they really need to, dial in, right?
All right. Well, I'm ready to talk over some more food next week.
Yeah.
So
You're at the takeout table.
thank you everybody for watching the first ever episode. We look forward to bringing you some more food next week. We're not sure what it will be, but it'll be a pleasant surprise for everybody.
Yeah. We'll see you guys later. All right. I'm Saurabh Chawla.
And I'm Eric Chernive.
Signing out.
Have a good night.